Okay, so in this tutorial, I'm going to be showing you how to install Shadcn into React. So let's get started. So let me just show you. Right now we have this, okay? And the reason for that is I have used Tailwind CSS here, okay? I've added it, but because this is a fresh installation, all of this is not being applied. So I'm going to show you how to install Tailwind CSS as well in this. Now, the reason we need to install Tailwind CSS is that Shadcn uses Tailwind CSS for its designs. So we need to install that first. So to install Tailwind CSS, it's a very simple command, which is npm I Tailwind CSS at Tailwind CSS / Vite. So the way of installing React is using Vite. So we need to install Tailwind CSS / Vite with this as well. Okay. And I'll show you where you need to add this in Vite after the installation to configure Tailwind CSS with our Vite project. Okay. So let's get started. So while this is installing, let's add things into our vite.config, and you also need to add things into your TypeScript files here as well. The reason for that is Shadcn uses TypeScript, okay? If you try to install Shadcn in a project that does not have TypeScript, it will give you errors, okay, when trying to install Shadcn. So let's go into our Vite config, okay? And here, what you need to add is resolve and alias at, it's not showing here, but I will import it manually. So path dot resolve __ dir name and then / source. Okay. So this will point to the main source directory. Okay, that's what this is doing here. So here you need to import this in, which is path. Okay. So next here you need to add in Tailwind CSS. Okay. And as you can see, this got imported in automatically. So next you need to run the command npm I at types / node. Okay, so this imports the types for node. Okay, and if you don't know why it's node, because you use node to install all of these things, like to make all of these things work with each other. Okay, so this is working with node, so I'm just importing the types for that. Okay, so the types are imported, and that's why you're seeing that the errors are now gone. Okay, so these were available before, it's just it didn't have the types for it, so I just installed the necessary types for it. Okay, so now you need to open up these two. So here you need to add in compiler options. Okay, inside of this you need to add in base URL dot, and next you need to add in paths. Okay, in paths you have at /*. Okay, then you add the array. Inside of this array you add in ./src **. Okay, and you just add all of this inside your tsconfig.app.json as well. Okay, oh, it's saying it's already here. So I just need this. Okay, it's already here. So I guess I can just add it here. Okay, and I'll add some comments. Base paths. Okay, I'll just call it this. I'll save both of these. Okay, now that all of these things are set up, now we can install Shadcn. Okay, by the way, this is inside of the compiler options. Okay, just in case that wasn't clear. Okay, so here I'm gonna clear this first. And now let's install Shadcn. Okay, so to install Shadcn, you just need to type in the command npx Shadcn at latest init. Okay, then press enter. This will initialize Shadcn for our project by adding the necessary folders and all of that stuff. Actually, one more thing I forgot to add, the index.css, right? So this is the main styling file for our project. I'm gonna remove the base styles, okay? You can keep them if you want, but I just don't need them. So I'm gonna remove them, and I'm gonna do, yeah, I didn't add this yet, okay? So that's why it's giving me this error. Okay, so at import and then Tailwind CSS. Okay, so save this. And as you can see, the styling for Tailwind CSS has been applied. Okay. So let's initialize this again. Yeah, as you can see, it has done it. Okay, so I'll just choose the color as neutral. Okay, you can choose one of these if you want, but I'm gonna do neutral, just keeping the base styling. Okay, it's basically saying that because React 19 is kind of new still, some things might not install properly, so you're gonna have to use the dash force flag with it, or legacy peer deps. I just like to use the force one because it just forces the installation to happen. Okay, so it has done installing everything. Okay, so I'm just gonna close this for now. Okay, as you can see, it added all of these things. You can change everything according to what you want, but I'm gonna keep everything as it is. Okay. So as you can see, we have this style. Okay, I'm gonna add a component to this specifically. Okay. So I'm just gonna change the styling a little bit and come back. Okay, so I've just changed the styling a little bit. I just added some styles here and put all of these inside of this div. Okay, that's it. This is how it looks like now. So the thing I'm going to add into my project is the hover card. Okay, and I'm going to show you how to add any type of component into your project. Okay, from Shadcn. So we're gonna use this command. Okay, so I'm just gonna copy this, and all of these have a command like this. Okay, it's npx shadcn at latest add, and then the name of whatever it is. For example, if this is alert, alert will be here. If it is alert dialog, then it will be alert dash dialog. Okay, so all of that will be here. So this is the command you need to install Shadcn components. So I'm just gonna copy this, and I'm gonna open up the terminal again. I'm gonna clear this and add in this command. Then I'm going to choose the force option. As you can see, it's adding things into this, okay, on its own. As you can see, it added the lib and components folder. Okay, the components folder is where your components will be. In the UI folder, the hover card exists, and in the lib, these are basically the types for your components. Okay, so now that this is done, I'm going to close this. And now we need to add in import and add in the code for the hover card, which is basically available here. You can just copy this and add it in like this. Okay, if you remember, we added this in our types as well as our config. Okay, and the reason is that we are basically saying that if this gets used, interpret the rest according to what we have specified in all of these. Okay, so after that, you just need to copy this, and I'm gonna add this here, and I'm just gonna say hover cards. Okay, and then this is going to be, these are hover cards. Okay, hoverable cards. These are hover cards. Okay, and I'm also gonna add the styling that we have into our trigger. Okay, so this is how you add Tailwind CSS styling to any of these components that you have. Okay, so save this, and it should now all work. Okay, so if I hover over this, okay, as you can see, if I hover over this, you'll see that the hover card is showing. Okay, but the styling is not really there for this. Okay, and you can add your own styling. let's look at the code for this. Okay, so you can see that they have added their own styling into this. That's why the card has its own styling. Okay, for example, if I just take all of this, okay, so let me just take the whole hover card content, okay, and I replace it with my hover card content. And I'm also going to remove some of this because these are also other components that you would have to add in, okay, from Shadcn. So let's see this now. Okay, so I figured out why it wasn't working before. Okay, now you can see there is now a background being applied and all of that. When we were selecting the theme, we ended up selecting neutral. Okay, but if you go into the theming part, right, you scroll down, there are other themes. You had these options, by the way. It's just we ended up choosing this one. Okay, we ended up choosing this one, neutral. I just ended up adding this, okay, to my root. Okay, I just replaced this one. So as you can see, it is 0004, okay, 0.147, okay, so 5, 0.141, 0.147. So I ended up choosing stone. Okay, so I ended up adding this and it ended up fixing the styling. Okay, so that is how you apply this. Okay, so I just need to add block to this. Okay, now it's adding it to the center, and as you can see, all of this is applying. You can add whatever styling you want to this using Tailwind CSS in here. Okay, like for example, I could make this Excel. Okay, as you can see, the styling applied, all of that. Okay, so I hope you like this tutorial. Like and subscribe to stay updated on the latest tutorials, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.